Hey Dr. Wang, I'm going to record my slideshow. I'm doing it on the big screen. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so my article is about how political marketing influences voters. My article was written by Quirk Media, but the slideshow was produced by me. So a Quirk summary of the article is this article was actually very interesting. It explained how political marketing influences voters, especially nowadays. It's how they used social media and how it plays such a large role in political campaigning. So there are different generations' involvement. We have Generation X, we have millennials, we have the baby boomers, and how it affects each one and how each generation is utilizing social media. So we also have the summary of that it's the public view of political ads and on news online formats. So it used to only be like the newspapers and word of mouth, but now you can Google anything and it comes right up. So essentially the last part is that if politicians want more voter engagement, a higher budget for creative development is needed. So I know that a lot of internships nowadays are social media marketing, digital campaigning, and all of that. So some key terms are utilized in this article and needed for this slideshow. So the first key term is political polarization, and that is cases in which an individual's stance on a given issue, policy, or person is more likely to be strictly defined by their identification with a particular political party. So the next key term is a millennial, which is being that is the age from 18 to 34. The next one is Generation X, which is age 35 to 50. And the baby boomers are a little bit older. They're 50 to around 69 or 70. So are you interested? Especially with the most recent election, I know that social media was off the hook. So 48% of millennials claim that they're extremely or somewhat interested in political ads. I know that I kept up with the campaign this past election through the Twitter memes or the Instagram stories or what everyone was posting on Facebook. So similarly to the 48%, we have the Generation X was about the social media about 40%, and pretty close. The baby boomers were right behind there, 38%. So we're trying to keep it interesting. So with social media on the rise, the younger generations demand more authenticity from brands and corporations. So we want to know who the campaign person is. Like we want to know who you are, like where did you come from, and we want you to tell it like it is. So a quote from the article is that family-focused or humanizing ads 42% of respondents to claim more positive feelings about candidates after exposure. So in order to acquire higher voter engagement, more money must be spent on the creative side to develop an authentic brand and essentially spread the word. As I mentioned before, I know that social media marketing and branding is huge, and definitely to keep it creative is what millennials and I like. So while TV is more important than ever throughout the campaign process, I want the campaign people to do the TV ads, but I also want them, in those 30 seconds that they have, tell me how they actually feel. So I like the ones where they tell me what they're doing, what they plan on doing. So opposingly, 62% felt that negatively the attacking brand or the attacking ads didn't do well for them. So why should you politically advertise? Getting a candidate's name out is probably the number one way to advertise. I know word of mouth, it's just a way to keep the campaign relevant. So the second popular purpose was criticizing the competition and altering the perceptions, the attacking ads, and making issues more widely known, and as well as driving the public to research were also intentions. So social media advertising. Social media ads were listed as the most attention-getting content when the source was compared to the most other common, such as like emails and like regular ones that you would click on the side. So 34% of adults place social media at the top of their list, as well as social media. They also use video ads. Oh, an interesting note was that the 34% was total adults as well. So the conclusion that we have today is that all age groups online political advertising will not feel a change, such as using the banners, the videos, or the social media and the email. Won't really have an impact didn't have that much of an impact on the upcoming election. But more respondents think that the banner and the video, the social media, is an effective way. They don't think it will change it, but they think it's an effective way to get their name out. So 31% of respondents think that these online ads will have a much or somewhat of an impact. So here on this cool chart, we basically have the total of what everyone is feeling social media-wise, and then we have the millennials, the Generation X, and the baby boomers. So 11% in total social media increase has been noticed, such as liking, sharing, and commenting that has been for the most recent election. So I hope you enjoyed my slideshow, and thank you for watching. Yay!